What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Brotanical Garden, episode 20.
Today we talk about some mischievous tales of box office sales.
Hope you guys enjoy it. See?
Coming up in this week's episode.
There's like a sweet spot when you first meet someone that you know like you could be good friends with.
She probably will be because we all getting fucked up. Oh, she's totally pregnant.
She's got a baby. I realized it's not just young kids, it's disabled young kids.
Oh, Kevin, no!
Okay.
Nope.
You're not okay. Yeah, we would have gone the whole. You already know how that goes. I think you're the only person I know that like responds to things like that.
Like just nope.
Yeah. Anybody else in that situation would be like, Kevin, you got to take off the.
You know, I like to let people figure it out themselves.
Yeah.
You know, nobody's ever going to learn. Nobody will ever learn if you tell them. Dude, it's like the it's like the message that you sent. And I was like, Kevin, I want you to reread what you just sent and then try again. Which after sending all that was such a dick move.
You kind of sounded like a dick. I'm not gonna lie.
Such a dick move.
But
you were triggered. I could tell.
I was like, okay, thanks, dude. You could have worded that a little bit nicer. You sounded like you were having a bad day or something.
I was actually.
And I was just like, I'm just gonna let him go on this one. It sounds like he.
I texted Zach and said he's so triggered. He said he is. And then I had to apologize because I took my work frustrations out on you.
That's okay.
That's no context for you.
It happens when you have best friends that you're talking to. It's a very easy outlet because you know that it's going to be cool. Like, who else are you going to be able to like kind of blow off steam at, and then everything's fine the next second, you know?
Oh, that's your bestest of best friends.
Yeah.
Because, well, I guess anyone that you love mutually, like it's a known thing.
Yeah.
Because like that's like a common thing with the boys, though, that like pretty common, like with many guys, like friend groups, is like just shitting on each other, just absolutely roasting.
Yeah.
Just about every physical quality, like every little trait or habit, like just getting roasted.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, you know, you're cool. Especially like say you like somebody that you were just introduced to, like trying to figure out when you can like push those buttons or like push the boundaries is always little, I don't know, it's almost like something needs to happen. Like you need to have a night out with them, like a crazy night to where you bond.
Yeah.
Or like,
it's like
kind of,
there's like a sweet spot when you first meet someone that you know like you could be good friends with, because like for those first couple months, I feel like you're not ever mean to each other because you don't exactly know how far you can take it. Like you start to feel more comfortable, and like you honestly start to care less about the things you say to the people you're closest with. But the people,
for sure.
Like those new friends, like if you meet someone new, I swear it's like,
well,
you always feel like,
speaking of that, like that's how I felt whenever I came to Omaha like a couple weeks, like a month ago, when I met Nate Everett.
Yeah.
Wow, just full name dropped.
Full first and last.
First and last. Look him up. He's cute.
He is cute.
But that, like, obviously, you were telling me like we had similar humor and like stuff like that, so I didn't feel too like nervous about it. But still, like, even just subconsciously, it's like, how far can I rip into him yet? Like, can I really? Which it took like a day. Like after the first day, it was kind of it was like fair game at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in the golf simulator. But he was hitting missiles.
Yeah.
Did you just fart?
No. Maybe.
Oh. I don't know.
Yo, might have.
You ripped into the mic. Anyways.
So yeah, it's like it's the same thing like with like it's like with girls too. I swear. It's like when you're at first, like the first couple months of like a relationship, you're like the peak boyfriend material. Like you spend every waking moment with them, and like you do everything to try to impress them. You get like flowers and stuff for them because it's all like fresh, and like you try to like put a good impression on yourself. And then like
the honeymoon phase.
Yeah, and then like 3 years down the road, you're like at a dinner and you're just on your phones, not saying a word to each other. You know what I mean?
No, I don't. Because like ideally, it really shouldn't. You should get your girl flowers all the time.
Yeah. But I think that there's
I do know what you mean though. Like the guard has been let down. Like those doors have been opened. Like you know that person to where it's not.
Or like another example is like when you guys are in bed together, you're like snuggling and stuff, and you like cuddle, and even though it's not comfortable, you're still like cuddling and trying to fall asleep. And then years down the road, you're like butt to butt, just trying to be as comfy as you can. Cause
just like, bitch, get off me.
Yeah. Digging myself a hole with Rachel here, but yeah.
Yeah, you sure are. That's the only thing I was thinking about
this whole time. Yeah. You just let one rip.
Yeah, and you just Dutch oven, pull the pull the comforter over.
And then she's like, Kevin, and I was like, Theo. I mean, and I didn't say, I meant, and they would say their dog's name.
Their dog's name. You always blame it on the dog.
I, of course, have never done that, so I don't know why I put myself in that.
Luna wasn't here. I don't know where she went.
Peaced on your ass. Well, welcome to the Botanical Garden. We never really started this. We just started talking.
Yeah, that's okay.
Dude, is this 20?
This is the big 2-0, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a milestone.
Yeah, let's go.
When did we start?
Oh, we're gonna come up with the month and day.
Yeah, it's been like 6 months. I think we started in July, late June.
That's crazy.
Like 5 months ago was episode 1. So yeah, I mean probably really close to 6 months because we had 2 episodes prior to 4th of July. So, wow, which is I'm honestly, to be completely honest, I'm impressed with. I know we've had like a couple breaks,
ups and downs,
like breaks here and there, but like even after that, those like 3-week one, wow, words are hard. After that first 3-week break, I was impressed that we, got back into it, and that we've kept up with it to begin, like just all together, because it's been. Well, I know I'm gonna just expose myself. The social media avenue has been really just dry.
It's come to a halt, but
it's come to just got a lot going on.
That's
honestly,
okay.
now should be the time that it should be flourishing because I don't have that much going on.
Mm-hmm.
Come January, I will have no time.
Okay, so we just spurt like 20 social media posts, and then we'll be done for the next 4 months, and then we'll pick it up later.
Maybe.
Yeah. I have to say, even though I feel like we don't do an amazing job with like social media and anything other than just the regular podcast, I feel like we lack in a little bit. It's still really good to hear that people are still listening and enjoying our stuff. Like I was at
sure. We have a solid 20 people.
Yeah. And actually
probably more, but that's just YouTube. That's just YouTube where you can see how many views. And it's a solid 20 week to week, and that's real encouraging.
At my Christmas party for my company last night, there was another two people that I work with that also do a podcast. They take a different twist to podcasting, but it's still entertaining as it is. And they shouted me out in one of their episodes, but they didn't shout out the name of the podcast because I think they're like not wanting to like potentially have their viewers go from theirs to mine. They're like,
well, it's not like you have to exclusively watch one.
Right. They're just always like, yeah, Kevin, he does a podcast called the, and it's really good. But theirs is called. By twist, so they have like traditions where they will do like an intro, but then they'll do it in like a different language, and they'll have to like rehearse how to say it and stuff. And they also have these
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
like I think they did like one of theirs in Russian a couple weeks ago, and then they have they interview people and they have people on the podcast, like famous people, but then they, spoiler alert, they end up just really learning the impression of the celebrity really well. So like it's just like one of them is interviewing a celebrity, and then the other person is like doing a really good impression on like that celebrity. And like
What's the name of their podcast, dude? That sounds interesting.
It's called Monkey Speak.
Oh wait, bleep that because we don't want to take our.
Yeah, we can plug. Yeah, they're
the more the merrier.
They do a good job.
I mean,
and they have a lot of the times they have a lot more insightful things to say than we do. We just kind of blab our mouths.
Oh yeah.
They are actually really smart people too. Theo, stop looking at me like that. What?
Oh.
Did you find it?
Yeah, I found it. I think you had sent me this before. Wow.
Yeah.
What do you mean, like famous people?
Like they do.
Like they do impressions. Oh, so it's not the actual person. So one person is mimicking.
One could say that it's the actual person. I guess we'll never know, but
it's like, oh, hello, I'm Morgan Freeman. I'm looking at their page, and that's who it was. That was their
most recent. Yeah. So they
they
have their own traditions with their podcast, and I think it's really cool because they're not really taking ideas from other people. They're like starting their own, and I think that's really cool.
And it's a clever name too, because monkey see, monkey do. It's like impression.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that's like the basis of their podcast, and they're not afraid to get into like politics and stuff too. I guess I know they've done that. We stay far away from that. So
yeah,
and I think for us that's what works. But I don't know. Anyway,
to each their own. To each their own.
Yeah, but they complimented our most recent podcast when I was at the Christmas party, and it was a really cool feeling. So I have to finally come out and say that you should check them out too if you're interested in that sort of stuff.
Yeah, so. It sounds like I'm pretty sure most of our viewers come from your work.
Yeah, maybe.
Like if you had to put a number on it, how many people do you think from your work watch or / listen to our podcast?
Not as many as you would think, but I would say that there's
at least 8.
I'm saying, let's see. 1, 2, 3. I'd say like 5, honestly. And yeah, and I think that a lot of people know about the podcast from my work, but I don't think a lot of people listen like weekly.
Gotcha. Like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So, and they know who they are, but there's some of the ride or dies for sure. I think there's like 3 or 4 that watch
like religiously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. On drop.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a good feeling. Even though it's a good feeling because I know that like we're not dropping like the best podcast out there in the world every week, but it doesn't matter to them.
We totally are. It's just undiscovered. No one's watching.
What? I think you're actually probably right. We have really good podcasts. I think we have.
It may be self-biased, but
it might be. But I mean, let's toot our own horn a little bit because we do come out with some bangers.
See, the thing about that though, okay, so like I've heard some people like say that they like I would never listen to my own content or watch my own stuff that I produce.
Well, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, like I mean, no, I understand what they mean like when they say that. Like I mean, and these are like famous people.
Yeah.
Like that are well known. So maybe it's like depending on, the viewer count or, how famous you are, popular you are in that space, to where that becomes kind of weird. I think if you're not reviewing your own work to like try to improve.
That's my thought.
Like, yeah, it's like I don't see how you're meant to get better if you don't, watch your own stuff and be like, oh, we could have talked about this a little bit longer and like kind of really fleshed out that topic, and it, could have
Yeah,
made
I
better like a substance rather than, I don't know, just recording, hitting upload.
yeah. How do you know if you could improve in certain areas if you don't like critique your own work?
And that also goes with life.
Yeah.
Like how could you live your best life if you don't reflect on your actions or, yourself in general? How
Yeah.
do you expect to improve as a human being if you don't self-reflect?
Like from as early as I can remember, like when I was making like Fortnite YouTube videos, I have always like I remember watching my video like 3 times before pushing that like submit button. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you're very perfectionist based,
Yeah,
where
it's
you
true.
would probably watch like each transition or like every
Yeah.
effect to make sure it's picture perfect.
Yeah,
And, like synced up with everything. Yeah.
there have been times I've spent like a couple hours on a project and just completely deleted it just because I just didn't like
I
it.
I couldn't do that. I
Yeah.
couldn't do that. I would invest if I invested like 4 hours into something. It's getting
posted. Yeah.
getting posted or like published, or it's getting submitted. Like if it's a
Yeah.
paper for school or something,
Oh well, yeah,
I'm writing that bitch once.
yeah,
I ain't going back and revising anything unless it's like grammatical. Maybe
yeah.
add some more.
You have
like,
to.
Yeah.
It has to be something that you enjoy in order for you to do something like that, like delete something after hours. Because it's like if it's homework, or if it's like a essay, I'm not really,
Hey,
So.
what's up, essay? I'm sorry. True. So this has been happening to me often. Probably too often is my intrusive thoughts have been winning and coming to
Ooh.
light.
Mhm.
For example, when my sister was here last, when Riley was here last, we went out to eat for Maddie's birthday, my youngest sister. It was her birthday. So we went out to eat with her, like the whole family and some family friends. And it was like we were about to go to dinner and we were all at like some store. And it was like, so hello everyone. This is our somewhat weekly intro with Clay. If you're enjoying it, please like share with a friend, like, follow, all that good stuff. If you genuinely enjoy this, please let us know. Like we really don't get much feedback, or like comments or anything. I know you can't really comment on Spotify, which is probably where majority of you are listening right now. But if you could, DM us on Instagram. Be like, hey, I enjoyed episode this, or whatever. But thank you for watching. I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas. Roll it!
Welcome to the Brotanical Garden. To ensure nourishment to the saplings, make sure you spread your seed.
I couldn't hear you, but I knew exactly what you said. You said, "Roll it."
Yeah, I sure did.
Okay,
So what
my thing
happened? Your
died.
headset die?
Yeah, I told myself I was gonna plug it in. I forgot. Did you finish your story?
Mm-mm.
Okay. All right. We're gonna start it back up right now.
Okay, so we were having family dinner with family friends for youngest sister's birthday.
Yep.
Her 16th birthday at that. And so my intrusive thought won because we were leaving to go to dinner. We were at some store, some shop, like outlet mall thing. And I was like, so who's driving home? Is Maddie going to drive home? Because she just turned 16. And I was like, she probably will be because we all getting fucked up. And I yelled it like in the parking lot. And then everybody just kind of looked at me and I was like, sorry.
Yep.
I was like, yeah, intrusive thoughts won. And Riley was like, you think? So yeah, just those thoughts that,
Yep.
like, come on. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, sometimes
It
they should
happens for
probably
me.
just yeah.
I love it. No,
Um,
I think it's
I
awesome.
yeah, I mean, I definitely reference like pop culture way too often. That's probably like
Hmm.
50% of my vocabulary is like a movie quote or like a song lyric or something.
Yep.
And like TikTok does not help that at all.
Nope, because you hear the
They just
same songs and stuff, and like, yeah. Yep.
they get stuck in your head, dude. It's really it makes it very evident that social media just has a grasp on everybody.
Yeah, even
Like
like it's even people that are like older too now. If they have a TikTok, they immediately get added into like the
the
society
loop.
of,
Yeah.
yep, yep, they're in the loop no matter what if
Yeah,
you're on
it's
TikTok.
like whenever they like if you reference that, they just light up. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh my gosh, I
Oh,
saw
I
that."
know
Blah,
that
blah, blah.
one. Yeah, it's like, oh
I
god.
saw a speaking of TikTok, I saw a TikTok that was like, have you seen those little videos where it's like most for this one specifically, it was most popular TV show, and then it has like it's like a bar graph, and then it shows how many like people have searched it in that
No,
specific year.
that's cool though, but no, I haven't seen it.
Okay, so it'd be like Friends, and it'd be like, oh, 1.1 million people are talking about it, and then like the Breaking Bad will come up, and then it'll overtake it, and it's like a
Yeah.
bar graph, it's like a continuous thing over a timeline. I hope I'm explaining that well, but it was a TikTok on like most popular TV shows, and you could just tell how much influence social media has. Like once it got to like 2010, 2011,
Mm,
when social media really like started picking up and becoming,
yeah.
the main consumption. Uh, like every time a season would drop, that show would shoot to the top and just be far beyond every other TV show, and then it would die off. And it's
Yeah.
just, I mean, it's so true. It's like Squid Games was like the talk of the town for like a month and a
Yeah.
half, 2 months.
Yeah.
And then is anybody talking about it anymore?
Not a single person.
No.
Yeah.
Or like Game of Thrones. Like I know it's over with, but like whenever season 7 would drop, it would be the top. Like it was so popular. Like everybody's talking about it. Like you have to watch Stranger Things. You have to watch Stranger Things. And like
Yeah.
once everybody's like watched it and it's filtered through like the social media craze cycle, it kind of gets left,
Yeah.
which is so drastically different than it was, for the streaming era of like
Mm-hmm.
Netflix and everything. Because you would have to wait weekly for like an episode to come out, and it would give so much more longevity for those shows like Lost or the OC was a very popular one.
Yep.
It's like those shows like has so much longevity through the early 2000s just because social media and like streaming
Mm-hmm.
shows was non-existent.
Yeah. I don't know if it's like a good or a bad thing, but it
I
seems
ju-
like
I think it's a
it's just,
good thing for consumers.
yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's just like the next thing always pushes whatever, the old thing was out so
Oh,
fast.
for
Whereas
sure.
like 10 years ago, I feel like if something was good, people would talk about it for like the entirety of like the year before like the next big thing came out.
Yeah, because like the episode's coming out once a week. So you have a whole week where you're dissecting that latest episode that just came
Yeah.
out, and you're like talking about like how they could go in different directions, and
Yep.
really exploring different plot lines and stuff like that. Which is like which with this topic, it makes me really intrigued on the new Avatar movie,
Mm-hmm.
because the first one was prior to Netflix being like all that crazy, like
Mm-hmm.
and Hulu and HBO Max and Prime Video, because like the first Avatar is the most like the highest selling box office movie of all time.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Well, I knew it was like, I didn't want, I was actually kind of concerned that you were going to say something that like you just thought but didn't know, but it seems like you know that. Like,
I mean, I just Googled Avatar 1 box office, and
okay. Yeah.
and
No,
it
I knew it was huge. Like the whole
yeah,
year. Like the whole year what we were getting
I'm pretty
at.
sure they had a re-release, I think.
Yeah, cuz it was just, yeah.
It was so popular. So the prior holder to that title was the Titanic at 2.2 billion.
Yeah.
Titanic had made 2.2 billion in the box office, and then Avatar came along and shattered it at 2.9 billion. And I thought Avatar got overtaken by Avengers Endgame, but apparently not. And so that's why, like, it raises the question to me about Avatar 2 with this topic of, is it going to be in the know? Is it going to be trending long enough for it to make that much money? Because this is a direct quote from the director, that Avatar 2 needs to make 2 billion at the box office to break even.
Oh my god.
So it basically has to replicate what it did to break even.
Yeah.
Which is insane. And like with the way, like how we're discussing, like, is it going to stay relevant long enough for it to, make that much money?
It's kind of scary too, because I don't know if people go to the movies like they used to.
No,
especially after COVID. Like it's definitely going to break even after it goes to like whatever streaming service it goes to. Because I feel like over time it's going to be, it's Disney.
It's Disney Plus.
So Disney Plus. But I am interested to see like how the box office is, because I would actually like to see if there was like a chart on like average movie goers from like 2010 to 2022, like, because I mean I'm sure it's completely different. I'm sure it's so
like
much
just
lower now.
those COVID years, like it had to plummet everything.
Yeah,
like because there really weren't that many new movies coming out. But what about the Spider-Man movie, the No Way Home?
Yeah, the newest one.
When did that come out?
That came out, I think, around the time when we started podcasting, right?
So it came out last year? No, it came out before we started podcasting.
It did? Okay.
Yeah,
it feels like it was. I feels like it was only like 6 months.
It was
ago.
December 2021.
Okay.
So that one is in fourth with 1.9 billion. So I guess, I mean, and that's pretty good. Like saying how.
Same with COVID and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess it really depends on how good the movie is. I mean, everybody's been waiting for this sequel forever. They announced it like a year after they did the first movie. And obviously COVID and all this other stuff, but it's finally out. Is it going to live up to the hype and stay relevant enough to make $2 billion?
We'll see. No way. I can't wait. I'm freaking hyped. I think
the first one came out in 2009.
Dude, maybe we can watch it together.
That is so possible.
Yeah. Do you want to watch the trailer?
Yeah, let's watch the trailer.
Okay, let's watch the trailer. Sounds like something fun to do.
Yeah. Oh, you have it ready. Who would have thought?
Wait, are you ready?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, let's go.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Avatar: Way of the Water. Did they have kids?
I don't even remember. That's an assignment for me. Like,
is to rewatch the first one?
Yeah. Oh, it's just already just...
Oh, she's totally pregnant.
She's got a baby.
She got the bump.
I know you think I'm crazy.
Never mind those big rocks.
But I feel her. I hear her heartbeat. She's so close.
So what does her heartbeat sound like?
Mighty.
We cannot let you bring your war here.
Outcast. That's all they see. I see you.
The way of water connects all things. Before your birth and after your death.
This is our home!
I need you
I forgot their masks.
with me.
Yeah.
And I need you to be strong.
Wait.
Strong heart.
Okay.
Dude, I couldn't really even
So-
talk during that.
Yeah. Well, obviously, it's always been like just a mesmerizing.
Stunning.
Yeah, just and the ride at Disney like really brings that
Yeah.
to life,
God,
which
man.
is what that made me think of. But the whole time I was thinking like, what's the antagonist? Who is that? Like, and what's the conflict?
So I think
Because I don't really remember the ending of the last one.
I think
like,
what
I
it
know-
was, there was the humans. There was a guy who they had like a simulator where they basically, it's a human that's
Yeah.
controlling one of the whatever, and then I think just like military deems them like not like dangerous, so they
Well,
it's like a war.
The first one, there was like a conservation of the Avatar people on Pandora, and then the military got like greedy and wanted to mine whatever is under the big tree, and then that's where the conflict was in the first one. Like the conversation, like the main character sided with the Avatar people, and then they fought back off the military. And I guess I thought the main antagonist of the first movie died. I can't remember, to be honest.
Me neither.
But with this one, it looks like they come back, but why? It
Yep.
looks like they're just fighting in the water. So maybe something to do with the heartbeat. Maybe it's like Mother Earth kind of thing is what she's feeling the heartbeat of, and that's in danger maybe, and the humans are trying to go after it. That's like kind of the only.
Yeah,
But did the main character, did he like transition into a full-time Avatar person?
I don't.
Like after the first movie, like wasn't there like a transfer or something to where he's like Avatar forever?
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right, because I think Yep. I think I couldn't tell you much more than that, but yeah, I think
I haven't seen that
All
movie in
right,
forever.
we're gonna rewatch it. Maybe we can
we'll
do,
have to before
maybe this week we can like
do a
pick
watch party.
pick a night, like a watch party.
That'd
Yeah.
be fun, get everybody in there, all the boys.
It's like 3 hours though, or something, right?
Yeah, it's 2 hours 40 minutes.
Yeah.
So I really, after watching that though, I really don't like. I can see how it could flop, like plot wise, because it really either that or they were really leaving it up for like debate as to what you
Yeah.
think the movie's about,
Yeah.
which makes you want to go see it. So I don't know.
I think people
I
are
mean-
just gonna go because it, like, every time it feels like that movie pushes what we know of as like the best graphical quality, media.
Oh,
out
visually it
there.
looks great.
I think it doesn't even, to be honest, I think that just like visuals can push the box office so far that, I mean, obviously it's got to be a
Yeah.
good, there's a lot of people that critique movies a lot harder than I do. So I can't really, I'm not one to speak that well on movie, because I'm going to enjoy it regardless. It could have a shit story and I would still love it because it's just so breathtaking to look at that world. And
Yeah, which obviously will always help any movie if it's visually stunning. But I critique movies probably harder than I should.
yeah.
Like the new Star Wars movies, I had to watch like at least 3 times before I appreciated like for what it was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And you're a big Star Wars
yeah.
fan too.
yeah, like the 7th one, I hated for a while, maybe like even
Was
a
that-
year after.
Was that the middle one?
That was no. That was the first of the new.
The first of the
trilogy.
3. Yeah.
Yeah, which it was very similar.
The second of the 3, that was like the really somber one, right? Like everyone dies and stuff. Or no?
Yeah, that's when Leia dies. I'm pretty
It's like
sure.
the troops and like a lot of the troops die. It's been like just like Pandora.
Yeah,
It's been a while.
When Luke dies as well. Spoilers in the 8th movie. But the thing is about see, now we're talking about Star Wars. The sequel trilogy for Star Wars, it's pretty much it's very based off of the original trilogy storyline, which a lot of people don't like because it feels like a money grab, which I can see that, but they really screwed over the whole Skywalker saga by adding the 3, because in the first 6 movies completed by themselves are good enough as it is.
Yeah.
If they were going to introduce like Rey as a new Jedi, they should have done a completely new storyline, but they kind of rinsed and repeat, and that's why they get a lot of shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's different. That's a different podcast for a different day, brother.
Yeah. I think we leave it at that. Everyone go watch the new
if you want to.
Avatar. But yeah, that's only if I only want you to watch it if you want to watch it. So.
But if you're in Disney World in Orlando ever, go to Pandora in Animal Kingdom, because that place is cool.
That is so cool. Yeah.
That place is really cool, especially 2 rides there. Top notch. What are you drinking?
I had some Buffalo Trace. It is gone.
Yeah.
Yep. I need to refill.
Crown Peach.
I like your glasses. They look really cool.
Thank you. I stole them from my parents.
Nice.
Yeah.
I need to get
I got some moonshine recently.
Yeah, you said you got some. Have you tried it?
I tried it whenever he gave it to me, but I haven't gotten any since then. I haven't like poured myself a glass or anything like that. But like it's got like actual fruit in it, like in the jars themselves. Yeah, a coworker of mine made them himself. Like has a still in his back shed, in a shed in his backyard.
Yeah,
and like does it just for fun. Yeah, so he gave me a strawberry jar and a peach mango jar.
That's super exciting. And I can't wait for you to try those.
It tasted pretty dangerous whenever he was like handing them to me. We also had our Christmas party Friday.
How'd it go?
Well, the best part about being an accountant over multiple companies is you get multiple Christmas parties.
Yeah.
So I had the first Christmas party was on Thursday, and it was at it was a place called My Main Event or Main Event, which is
I've heard of
basically.
Main Event.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought it was like a one-off thing. I had never heard of it prior, but it's like a bowling alley / Dave and Buster's type feel.
Yep.
Yeah. So we had our Christmas party there in the middle of the day. It was like 11:30 to 3. And so we went and, we were, ate. It was just we hung out and played games. I mean, my dad and I just walked around with, we had like unlimited swipes on our little cards and played just about everything in the building. And it was fun.
That's fun.
But the real party was for the other company was Friday. And it got a little rowdy. There was one table that was just passing around a bottle of Cuervo or Jose Cuervo.
Jose Cuervo, yeah.
Cuervo.
No, that's okay.
But yeah, killed a bottle of that, and like a bottle of Jack was going around. But one of the guys had a bottle of moonshine, butter pecan moonshine.
Yeah,
and dude, I would put that stuff in my coffee on the regular.
It's that good.
It was good. It was so sweet. It would have been much better chilled, but that's like I was like, I need to get some moonshine. Like that stuff was insane. Like I would make myself like White Russians with that butter pecan moonshine. It was that good.
Our Christmas party, it kind of always gets pretty crazy, but it's open bar.
I was there last year.
Yeah, you were there last year, so you kind of know the vibes. but I won't say his name, but we have a new person that works with us in our company. And I just remember my first Christmas party, I had you there, so I felt a little bit less nervous, but I had only been there for like a couple months before the Christmas party happened. So I was like kind of timid. Like if I would only really order something that someone else was like also drinking. I didn't want to be like too overly drunk when I was actually there.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a new guy who's been there a couple months, but dude, he went off for this Christmas party.
He went all out.
Yes,
No.
I know for a fact that he sat at the bar, I think almost the majority or the entirety of like the night. And dude, oh God, I just hope that he was okay today, because yesterday was the Christmas party yesterday night. And, dude, he ordered us, just me, not, you know, anything else that he ordered, just me. We ordered 4 rounds of shots.
Oh my God.
3 of them were like tequila shots. And so he would just find people and be like, I think we should do shots. Let's do some shots. And so he'd gather like 13 people and he'd say like 13 of whatever shot. And he was just putting them. I think he told me that he had 15 different drinks. And it was like an hour.
And they kept serving him?
I'm very surprised that they kept serving him, honestly. Because like the bartenders were kind of starting to give him like that look. You know what I mean? Like when he ordered something, it would be like, okay, you know? And
yeah,
I mean, kudos to him. He wasn't, apparently he was not scared at all to, you know, do anything, even though he had been there for only a couple months. But
did he get obnoxious or like too drunk to where it was like a nuisance?
No,
or
like
he was having himself a good time.
He was having a good time. I convinced him not to drive home.
You had to convince him?
We had asked him like, so you're Ubering back, right? And he's like, no, I'm gonna drive. And I was like, I will pay for you to get an Uber tonight. Plus on Sundays in Omaha, you don't have to pay for parking. So just pick your car up later. I was like, just better to be safe. And I was saying that like, cause I know I've been that guy before where people have had to tell me like, take it easy. And I always get like butt hurt when they are like, dude, you're fucking drunk. Like, no, of course you can't drive. So I kind of had to let him down easy. I was like, you know, better to be safe than sorry. Plus you wouldn't want to have to, what was that?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't know what that was.
Oh, okay. All right.
It was my
anyway.
dryer.
Oh, okay. Anyway, it was a really good time. Hopefully he's still alive.
Hopefully he got his car.
Yeah, got his car. But yeah, another good Christmas party in the books. So
good. Do you think you've been there like over a full year now?
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
It's crazy. Time flies when you're having fun.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 2022 as a whole has been kind of crazy.
2022 has probably been like the craziest.
It's not that podcast yet. We can't have that podcast.
Yeah, no, we can't. That's for the end of the year.
That's for the end of the year pod, which is going to be wild.
Yeah.
We're both going to show our nipples and
it's gonna be
belly dance for you. It's going to be crazy. Confetti everywhere. Just wait.
Yeah.
So, I have a question for you.
Yeah, let's hear it.
What was the most devious, mischievous thing you did as a child? As a kid? Or just like at any age, I guess. What was your most devious lick?
So when I hear devious lick, there was like that trend that was going on where like people would like steal like
soap
sinks
dispensers. Yeah, sinks.
out of a. Okay, so I definitely didn't steal something with this devious, mischievous act as a kid, but I do know the most ridiculous thing that if I could take it back today, I absolutely would, because it was just like the worst thing I've probably ever done.
Just really stupid.
Really, really stupid.
Yeah, that's what mine's about as well.
So this was probably my junior year of high school. And during that time, we were doing something called Nerf Wars. And it was an unsanctioned school event, but you had a team of 4 or 5 people, I forget. You made your team just throughout, like, high schooler friends, whatever. I think there was, like, 12 teams, and they every week went head-to-head on, like, shooting each other with Nerf guns. But it wasn't, like, an arena style, like, you show up and it's, like, dodgeball. This was anywhere off of school grounds, you would try to, like, shoot them, like, when they're not noticing. So, like, it was very common in the mornings before school for you to wake up at, like, 5 a.m. and, like, sneak in like the front yard of, like, some other kid's house that you were going up against that week and trying to shoot them on their walk to the car. Or, like, because you have to be on your guard. So, like, even if,
like hell.
yeah. Even if, like, so say you played club baseball. If they found out where you were playing your club baseball game, they had, like, the right to run out on the field and shoot you. So, I mean, you had to be on your guard at all times. The only rule was you couldn't get shot if you were completely naked.
Oh, no.
But, but they eventually changed that rule to just being in your underwear because I think they had too many incidents. So
wait,
if you were,
that was a thing?
People would actually get naked. Yeah. So,
oh God.
But the thing is, though, if
that's a lawsuit.
If you were naked, you also couldn't shoot anyone. But
what
you could do, so you know what, like, a Nerf sword is? It's like a sword, but it's foam. So if you're in your sword. If you're in your underwear, you cannot get shot, but you can get hit by a Nerf sword. So some people would, just to play it safe, if they were doing, like, a morning raid on someone's house before school, they would hide in the front yard with their underwear and a Nerf sword. That way, if like someone was trying to shoot them, it didn't matter. But what you could do is when you're on your way to your car before school, you could just go out with your boxers on, and then there's a potential for, like, a sword battle in your front yard.
Both of y'all in your boxers.
So that's just kind of to set up the story. My team,
sounds like this happened to you. But I can't wait to hear it. My team, we were super like invested in this. So we would make plans almost every day to try to get people. We would find out if people worked places, and we would stock their cars on their way out of their shift. We'd talk to friends of friends, that sort of thing. So we were up against pretty much like the majority of this team we were up against this particular week was the football team, the Fairfield football team. Uh-oh.
So I had heard that they were, man, it's hard to even say this. I had heard that they were going out to these not Fairfield baseball fields, and there was little kids that were, like, learning how to play the game, and the football team was going out to, like, help them on the field, right?
I'm getting ahead of you, just I'm sure like everybody else is.
Yeah.
Please continue.
So I get news of this, and I'm like, this is perfect. We were down like 3 people, and it was the last day before the end of the week. So
it would, like, reset, like, if you got out, like, you were out for that week or 2 weeks or whatever.
Yeah. So it was like,
so how do you win?
There was a commissioner. So it's basically like a tournament style bracket where you go up against another team, and you have 7 days from Monday to Sunday, and whoever at the end of the week, whatever team has the most players still alive advances to the next round. Gotcha. And if it was a tie at the end, then you met up with the commissioner at, like, a public park, and you did, like, a dodgeball style shootout.
Okay.
And that's how you determined it to get to the next week. So we were 3 down on the last day of this. And so we were going to lose unless I did something. And I was so invested. So we hear about this.
Oh my God, you went solo?
So another guy came with me. And he drove me out there. I'm in my boxers and a Nerf sword.
Oh no.
And we get to like we get in the parking lot. I'm looking from over like the back fence, and sure enough, there they are. They're out on all the bases, and there's like kids with them, and like the families are sitting in the bleachers and stuff. And we look at each other in this car, and I'm like just in my boxers. I'm like, I don't know if I can do this, man. Like, I don't know if I can. And he's like, yeah, I definitely can't do this. And then I just
was he in his boxers too?
Yeah. So we spent like a solid 15 minutes in that car, like debating if we were actually going to do this. And I said, you know what, man, we're going to the next round. And I got out of the car. He wouldn't go with me. I hopped the fence in my boxers with the Nerf sword in hand. And honestly, I kind of blacked out. It was just like, I had to do this. As I get closer, I realize that it's not just young kids. It's disabled young kids.
Oh, Kevin, no.
So there's, first base is in a wheelchair. Third base has Down syndrome. And I'm out there. I see
a special needs baseball event and you're underwear and a Nerf sword.
My junior year Spanish teacher has a disabled daughter. She was in the stands, and I saw her and she saw me. And I went around. I went around every base and said, "You're out. You're out. You're out." Just smacking them with a sword. And then
they didn't run away.
No, they just were like, "Are you kidding me?" And so then I'm just so embarrassed. So I sprint down center field and then hop back over the fence and then hop in the car and we leave. And the next day this was the only time I'd ever gotten in trouble in high school. Never detention. I get sent to the dean of students' office.
No shit.
The team were playing
a lawsuit. That should have been. Oh my god! Public exposure,
dude. That night, oh my gosh, that night I was just like, that night I was just like, I couldn't even go to bed that night. I'm like, what did I do, Kevin? This has gone too far.
I really wish one of those kids would have Bobby Boucher'd your ass. Just laid you out. Oh my god!
I probably deserved it. But anyway,
that's the funniest shit I've ever heard.
Yeah. So that happened. The commissioner the commissioner declared that those didn't count, so we didn't even make it to the next round because it was so bad. They had like posted.
What did your mom say?
She made me. She made me, which I probably would have anyway. I made brownies for my Spanish teacher and written an apology letter, because her daughter was like out on the field when it happened, and she said it was like, she was like, "Thank you for apologizing, but Kevin, that was the stupidest thing you could have ever done." And I was just so like, how do you look at your teacher the same after that?
How does she look at you the same?
Yeah,
man?
That's kind of. I think that's what I meant. So that was just the stupidest thing I ever did as a kid.
That is the funniest shit.
But actually, maybe I can put it in the pod. But I have a video of me with a GoPro. No, not that particular instance. And on a separate week, it was another buzzer beater play where I learned that this team was at B-Dubs.
You went to the nursing home this time?
At B-Dubs. It was at B-Dubs. So they were in B-Dubs eating. I had one person on a phone call that was like from a different school out front of the B-Dubs with like a phone. And then I had a getaway car driver, and it was me and actually the same guy. We were in the back seat of it might have been like Rachel or some other car. And I have GoPro footage of me dual wielding with swords in my boxers, sprinting after these people.
In B-Dubs?
Out in the parking lot outside of B-Dubs.
Okay.
and I
Okay, so here's the thing though. Here's like the biggest question I have about both of these instances. Why is the default for you to get in your boxers? Especially for the first one, couldn't you've been fully clothed with a Nerf gun and just shot them all? Because they're not ready for that unless they're strapped with Nerf pistols on a baseball field.
Yeah. You never
Like-
know. Because, like, you know it's called, like, the Jolt. It's like that single
Yeah.
Nerf. They could have had one of those out on the field. And then if
You
I ran
really
out there... No.
It was that serious to where you're strapped like you're...
It was really serious for me. Yeah.
For
Like,
you...
We had... So, there was 1 week... If there's any sort of, like... question mark in one of the kills, like some guy says he didn't get shot but really he did, it would go down to a sword fight. Thankfully it in close, because there's no point at that point to do like a 1v1. So we had like meetings on like strategies for the sword fight. So I had come up with a plan to where he would show up with 3 swords in his hand, and so we had made the plan that worked, where he had 3 swords. He threw the middle sword at the guy, so he just like didn't really know what to do, and then he came in with both swords and hit it. So like we had meetings, and we had
You were
like
practicing. You had practice.
We were super invested in it all.
Did you get in the treehouse and draw up a map, and it's like, okay, guys, you're gonna go over on the east flank,
and you know
I'm
what?
gonna swing at it.
Our downfall was there was one guy in our group that was just like, they are ridiculously into this way too much. I don't want to do this anymore. And so he
got him with the psychological.
He called someone up on the other team so he could get himself out. And we lost by 1 that week. So that was our downfall.
Was on your team?
Yeah, he like just turned himself in to get shot because he didn't want to play anymore.
Yeah, I can't imagine like every day you wake up to go to school.
Because I mean, it's
you worried about some kid in their boxers gonna smack you with a sword. That sounds like the worst way to wake up.
Yeah, one time my mom got she got blocked in by cars that were not letting me leave my house before school, and she was late to work because they
But you weren't in the car.
I wasn't even in the car. No, yeah, I got in a wreck because of Nerf wars. I hit like an old woman.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
In her car. She was in her car, but
okay, good. Jesus.
Yeah, so it was
Dude.
It was fun times, man. But
Sounds
anyway,
like y'all got way too invested. Oh, now mine just sounds like child's play.
No, I still want to hear it.
Like now it's like I don't even think it even fits that criteria at this point.
Well, mine is not really much of a devious lick. It's just a really stupid, like, should have never happened.
Mine's very stupid as well.
Okay.
It's so dumb. So I guess for y'all that don't know, I'm from the good old state of Alabama. And just something that happens to be behind my house are these 2 big ponds. You remember those big ponds?
Are they like...
They're like behind the backyard.
Past your fence, like kind of in the trees area? Yeah.
In the woods, there's these 2 big ponds. And one of them had like a bunch of camping, I would say like just kind of like lawn chairs and like a table and like one of those portable grills. And it had been sitting there forever. Like as long as like it's first time I ever went out to that pond, that shit had been sitting there. Just like lawn chairs, just like camping stuff. And I think this was like middle school, like 8th grade, maybe 9th grade. Me and a couple friends, just for whatever reason, we just had have you seen on TikTok the people throwing rocks like off of bridges, and it's like for the boys, and then they'll like make a splash in the water? Not on that side.
Yeah, so like, is it like a big rock usually?
Yeah, it's a big rock.
They throw it off the side, and then
yeah.
And
it's like for the boys, and you know. So I guess this lines up with that. We just decided to throw every bit of camping equipment into the pond. Why not, dude?
Whose was
stupid. Not ours.
So you just said fuck it. Yeah.
We didn't know. We didn't know whose it was. Well, it turns out it's the guy that owns the pond. It's his shit.
Oh, no, dude.
Who would have thought his stuff's sitting by his pond?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess this was in the Facebook like homeowners association, HOA
Oh no.
group message
Yeah.
or whatever. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
someone threw all my shit in the pond. Does anybody have any idea about that? Like, who knows? Well, yeah, no, they were worried
What?
about like if somebody's snooping around the neighborhood,
Yeah.
trying to throw more shit in the pond. I don't know. But eventually we get questioned, and dude, my ass is still red from that day. So we all three had to go into the pond, which is like just a nasty
Yeah.
pond in the woods. We
Get
had to
everything
get in
out?
there and fish everything out.
Oh man.
Yeah, so they yeah. Yeah, and our parents
Damn.
just like my dad was sitting there watching. Like, no, go get it. And it's like, Dad, it's in the middle. I don't know where it is. Go get it. Go underwater. Fish it out.
Yep.
Yeah, and then I think
That
we
had to be
we had
like,
to go up to their house and apologize, and
how old were you?
like 13, 14. Just,
Yeah.
being stupid.
Yeah.
I'm
Was
sure
it
I could think of other stuff, but that's what came to mind when most
that was the
devious
first
mischievous.
one? Yeah.
Just
I mean, that is devious and mischievous and stupid. Because it just
Very stupid.
it just made your lives so much more difficult.
Yeah, for no reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there's one night. Did you ever sneak out of the house as a
A
growing
couple.
up?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. What was your method of getting out?
So
Like, were you a
mine
window hopper or were you a front door guy?
mine was never. It never actually paid off because when I got home, I think every single time I got caught.
Oh God! So you
but,
really
like,
successfully snuck out.
I was able to get out of the house, but I just knew that once I came back, it was going to be bad. So, I have a huge I have a huge front porch. If you remember, like the wooden front porch. So the guest room upstairs had a window, and if you went out that window, you could get onto the roof. And from there, you could jump off the roof onto the front porch and then go down the stairs.
So like the awning.
Yep.
Like, was there an overhang?
There was
on the front porch?
Yeah, there's an overhang.
Yeah.
So out the window onto the overhang, and then I kind of just dropped down. But every time I dropped down onto the porch, it went boom. So like they kind of knew at that point that it was me.
Kevin just left.
Yeah. So it was always like my parents were downstairs most of the time. Before, like when I wanted to leave, I couldn't get out of the house without them knowing. So I had to find a way to get out of the house from upstairs. But we have a 2-story house that there's really no other way to get out without potentially like breaking your ankles because it's pretty high up. So that was the only way I could do it, and most times I got caught. But why? What about you?
What was the reason that you went out? Rachel or girls or?
You know what? It was usually because they wanted me to go to bed at a decent hour, but my friends were like, "Come on, let's go do something, stupid." And so I would be like, "Okay."
Like TP at a house or something.
Or like sneak into like that abandoned mall. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I remember one time I snuck out and stayed out all night until my dad left for work the next morning.
Oh.
So I would go out the garage. So I would like go out the garage door. Am I boring you?
No, I yawn.
No.
Every podcast. I don't know what it is. This is my second yawn already.
Did anybody give you the count for last podcast yawns?
Nobody gave me the count. I swear it was like 4 times, but I'll throw it
there's
back.
one at least. So if you're a yawn counter, there's one. But anyways, so I would go out the garage and I would crack the door and then like just slide under on my stomach.
That was another thing. My garage door was so loud that like I didn't want to have to use the garage door to get out.
Well, I would just hit the button like just for half a second, so it would just raise up enough to where I could slide under.
I remember doing that. Yep.
So I couldn't drive at the time, so this girl that was 16 came and picked me up, and then we went to her house and like drove around all over town. We like went to her house and she had like her friends were over there, and it was like me and 3 girls. We were just watching movies Yeah, I don't know, dude. Just tell me wrong, man. I don't know. So we stayed out all night. Nothing really happened. Nothing like interesting. But anyways, I was like, hey guys, it's like 5:30 in the morning. I probably need to get home before like my parents leave for work, and like, because it's just during the summer, so they weren't gonna like check to see if I was awake yet for like school or anything. So I get back home and they drop me off, and I'm sitting in the bushes, and it's like 6 o'clock in the morning, and my dad's leaving for work. And he opens the garage door, and I watch him in the bushes get in his car and leave. But now he's closed the garage door.
So now you can't get in.
Now I can't get in. But the only good thing, the only smart thing I did about that whole situation is I took a house key with me.
That's smart.
So I had to go in the front door, but I sat in the bushes for another hour until my mom left for work. So I was behind a big bush, just back up against the house, the brick in front of the house. And yeah, I just sat there for an hour. I'm pretty sure I was just like on my phone or something. But yeah, so I got away with that one. Dude. And I recently told my parents about that night, like not too long ago. They're like, what? They're like, how, when else did you sneak out? And I'll say, all the time. Like, I would sneak out when I was 15, like right before I turned 16, and I already had my car. And I would sneak out and drive and go to places.
Really?
Yeah, mainly just a girl's house. I'm not joking. It'd be like 10 minutes away, and I would just drive to her. I would do the same thing. I'd get in the garage, and I'd start my car, but I'd immediately turn off the headlights so it didn't shine into the backyard. Mm-hmm. And some nights the dogs would bark, other nights they wouldn't. So hopefully, I would immediately, as soon as I started the car, I would flip it in reverse and just zoom out of the driveway, which is probably not good for your vehicle, but with no headlights.
Yeah.
And then I would come out, I would come back like at 5 a.m. before they left for work or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. It's stupid.
It was always tough because my dad woke up so early. We would wake up at like 4:30, 5-ish.
Yep.
And so I was like,
oh, but I always did the thing in my bed where I would put pillows and like shoes or whatever. Yeah. Every time, even though it never worked.
Yep.
Yeah. So, so I don't know where we're at on time. Do you know?
We're good to pinch off whenever you're ready.
We're I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're good. Are you ready?
I mean, I have one minor thing that may just be the icing on the cake for this podcast.
Let's do it.
But it may open another can of worms.
So you think maybe we should? What do you think?
I don't know, because next episode's going to be like Christmas, right?
It doesn't need to be all Christmas, but if you want to keep it all Christmas, we could.
Yeah, that's the theme of it, I guess. Our next episode will be the day after Christmas. No, it'll be Christmas Day, right? No, it'll be day after. Christmas Day's on a Sunday.
Okay, yeah, day after. Yep.
Have you ever experienced or used any sexual toys?
All right, guys, let's go ahead and pitch it up. No, I'm just kidding. I have.
You don't have to answer for yourself. You can, like, do you know of any of?
I have heard. I have had. That's what I was gonna say. I have heard about some sexual toys and that they are potentially worth picking up because they tell me all the great things about them. Yeah. Why do you ask?
Sexual life. Oh no, I was more asking like for like the male toys. Like,
imagine you're like, that's all. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and fish.
No. So how big do you want your butt plug to be? I'm just kidding.
A Christmas gift, just a little like
a Christmas, little
Santa hat butt plug.
Yeah, it's like a Rudolph nose.
It's like bedazzled. It's got like little diamonds on it.
Really, it's just a corncob pipe. The carrot. It's Frosty's nose. Oh god.
Oh shit! That reminds me. I'll have to show you. I have an old Snapchat sticker that
Oh,
You remember it? It's Frosty's nose.
yeah, yeah. No, but have you ever
Anyway.
used a pocket pusher?
Have I remembered him? No, I haven't.
Okay, I haven't either.
I would imagine that they really work as described though. But you never know.
I feel like it's like it's in between your hand and the real thing.
It's got to be somewhere in between.
It had to be somewhere. It has to be somewhere in there. But the reason I bring this up is I know of a few people that have used one.
Okay.
Albeit the same one. So I did travel ball, throughout high school, travel baseball. And this was after my senior year of high school. So this is the summer before college. I was on the 18 and under team.
Okay.
So in our same organization, so we all played under the same team name, but there was just there's an 18U, a 16U, a 14U.
Yep.
Different age groups. Okay, so we were playing in this at a tournament in the same place as the 16U team, and we all were in the same hotel, which happened pretty often.
Mm-hmm.
But so this is kind of like the difference between generations, I guess, because 18U and then 16U, although it's only 2 years, they're a completely different breed.
Mm-hmm.
My God.
Yep.
So the 16U was notorious for just being just absolute dumb fucks. So we're having like a MLB The Show tournament in our room. Like somebody brought their PS4 and we're all playing MLB The Show, cutting up, having a good time. It's like, oh, let's go fuck around with the 16U team, see what they're up to. They're doing very similar. They're all like sitting around, cutting up, Snapchatting girls, like just being stupid.
Yeah.
And I'm in the room, and this guy one of the kids walks out. I say kids, he was, we're 2 years apart at this point. He walks out with what looks like a dog toy that you put a treat in to where they can't, like, they have to work to get the treat. And I was like, what the he's like, all right, he said, all right, John, you're next. And tosses it to the guy, and he goes into the bathroom. And I'm like, what? Time the fuck out. What is going on? I was like, oh, that's our pocket pussy, man. I'm like, what? He's like, you want next? I was like, no.
They had a community PP?
They were passing around a PP. And it looked like a dog toy. It did not even look like, it did not even resemble the real thing at all. Some of them look like, it looked like a dog toy. And I was like, y'all are using the same one? He was like, yeah, we just rinse it out with warm water.
It's nasty.
They would walk out. So John came out 10 minutes later or whatever, PP in hand and a bottle of Johnson & Johnson baby oil. I'm not even joking. This is 100% true.
Yeah.
Third guy goes in.
Does the same thing.
It's the same. Does the same thing. And I was like, all right, y'all. It's my turn to play in the tournament. I'm gonna leave. 1 week later, 6 of them have chlamydia.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, they're just 16 years old. Can you imagine going into a clinic, having to get swabbed and all that?
Yeah,
like, how'd you get it? Are you sexually active? And they're like, no. One of my buddies is.
I'm friends with somebody who. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so that's how 6 16-year-olds got chlamydia from one dog toy.
Dude, that's crazy.
And I swear to God, I didn't use it.
I kind of, there was the back burner of my brain was like, God, I wonder if you used it. But
no, I didn't, dude, because that is disgusing.
That's pretty bad.
I would have told you if I got chlamydia before.
Yeah.
And I've been STD free since 2003, okay?
Nice. Which was like a couple years after you were born.
There were some question marks from 97 to 03, but
yeah.
Pretty sure I was clean.
Nice. I think that's a perfect story to end it. That's awesome. That's freaking hilarious.
For us, not for them.
Yeah, not for them.
That's funny because then for the rest of their lives, they have to disclose that with every partner they want to be sexually active
Yeah,
with.
just to let you know, I've had chlamydia before. Yeah.
No, I doubt they bring it up themselves, but if they ever get asked, have you ever had an STD before? He's like, well,
There was that
there's
one
just
time.
I was in a hotel room full of guys, and let's just leave it at that.
So what happened was,
yeah, there's this blue dog toy and some baby oil, and it just crazy night. Well, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed. It really ramped up there towards the end, so I feel like
I feel like we always start them kind of like cold, and then it gets really hot towards the end. Like if someone ever listened to like the first 10 minutes of every episode, they would be like, "Damn, these things suck."
Yeah, it's probably not the greatest. Maybe we should just record for an hour and a half every time. Just scrap the first 30.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
That's
anyways,
okay. It's okay. Thanks for sticking around.
I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas. Come back next week because we will have a Christmas episode. We'll talk about all things Christmas.
This whole thing gonna be Christmasified for the next pod.
Yeah,
so
I'm gonna have my ugly sweater on. It's gonna be a vibe. Please follow, like. Let us know how many times Kevin yawned, and if you really want to, let us know your most devious, mischievous activity.
Yeah, I said so.
So with that being said, there's at least 2, guys. It's at least 2.
Jeez, oh my gosh! All right, guys,
so let's pinch it off here
and
push it out.
All right, guys. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later if I can find that. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I totally beat the fuck out of that pocket pussy.
That was so far. Oh, wait. We're still recording.
No, we're not.
Oh, my God. Okay. 3, 2, 1.